Welcome to the NBA Plugs playoff predictions for the first round. As you see on the screen, I have the odds up for the playoff matchups, and as the rounds continue on, I'll probably make more videos for more predictions as time goes on. As of right now, currently, the AC still hasn't been settled. I'm making this video on April the 19th, and as this video goes on, I'll have my prediction for that as well. But let's focus on what we have on the screen here. These matchups, for the most part, are fairly close if you're going by the odds and you play that kind of game, aside from the Nuggets versus Lakers. Okay, let's get into the Knicks versus 76ers. I don't know if Joel Embiid is fully healthy yet. I know the Knicks obviously don't have Julius Randle. I'm assuming Joel Embiid plays maybe through injury. If they had full health, both teams, I would still lean towards the 76ers, probably in 7. But with the Knicks missing Julius Randle, I believe Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Maxey are going to have back and forth huge games. Ultimately, though, the 76ers, they still got an Embiid, assuming he's going to be playing these games, and they still can rely on Tobias Harris. I do like the Knicks because they have great defense. I just don't think Brunson by himself is going to take out the 76ers. So I got Philly in 6. Okay? Moving along to the Bucks versus the Pacers. It's being reported that Giannis Antetokounmpo will miss the playoff series for this one. Dame Dollar himself is day-to-day. This is going to be a tough matchup with them down Giannis Antetokounmpo. Indiana Pacers are a very decent team. Really great on offense. Struggle on defense, at least statistically. I do like the Bucks in this series only because I think they're not going to have an answer for Dame, and he's just going to have his way and put the team on his back, almost like he did when he was on the Portland Trail Blazers. And he still has Chris Middleton as a running mate. I have the Bucks in 7. On top of that, the Bucks themselves, they are capable of playing really good defense when they want to, when they really lock in. I know they've struggled with that this year, and they've been criticized, but the capability of them doing it is a lot higher than the Indiana Pacers, in my opinion. Cavaliers versus the Magic. I like the Cavaliers in this series as a team overall, and I also believe they have the better players with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Also, the Orlando Magic, with this core group, they're new. I don't think Paolo and them have been in the playoffs. The Cavaliers players, specifically Donovan Mitchell, he's been here. I like Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. Defensively, big men who occasionally, if they're open, they could hit a shot. I'm not saying they're Kevin Garnett or Chris Bosh, for example, big men who could really shoot it from outside the paint. So again, just overall, I like the Cavaliers team, and I also like their star players better. Both teams are top 10 defensive teams. I'm going with Cavs in 6. Nuggets versus Lakers. If I remember correctly, last year, one observation I had about this series was it was relatively close up until the third quarter, and the Nuggets would eventually start to pull away, and the Lakers were never really able to close the gap. This is just off of memory right now. I like the Nuggets in 5. It's just the Lakers, because they have LeBron and they faced them last year, I think they'll get one game eventually. In the end, the Lakers haven't shown me anything that would make me say, wow, this is a much different team than last year, and they will have a better chance in beating Denver. And that's why I have them in 5. Phoenix Suns versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota has the best defense within the NBA. I'm looking at the Phoenix Suns, and they definitely have the star power with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. However, they haven't played much games together throughout the whole season as they've been constantly injured. And there hasn't been a lot of consistency between them and actually setting a structure within the team. I guess what I'm saying is with the Timberwolves, I know what I'm getting. I like what they have. They have playoff experience as well. I still think it's going to be a close series. I got Minnesota in 7. Mavericks versus the LA Clippers. I'm going to give a little bit of history that I'm sure most of you know, but if you don't, to refresh your memory, in 2020, the Dallas Mavericks and the Clippers faced, and the Dallas Mavericks lost in 6 games. The year after, in 2021, they faced again, and Dallas lost in 7. This is, however, with Luka Doncic being the main focal point of the offense. This is without Kyrie Irving. Of course, the Clippers themselves, they made some changes. Now they have James Harden on the team, Russell Westbrook. I'm reading, though, that Kawhi Leonard is battling some injuries and he may end up missing game 1. I'm going to make a bold prediction, maybe bold to some, maybe not. I got Dallas in 7. I think with Kyrie Irving now and with Luka having the experience that he did against the Clippers, almost beating them, I'm going to say that this is the year Luka Doncic gets over the hurdle of the Clippers. And if you look at both teams' regular season records, the Mavericks finished with 50 wins, the Clippers finished with 51. It's relatively the same, even though most would make the argument that Clippers have more manpower with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, and Harden. Celtics versus Miami Heat. Let me start off by saying I've seen that Jimmy Butler will be out. It's reported for at least a few weeks because of his injury, MCL, I believe. If Miami was full throttle, healthy, Butler's ready to go, I would have loved to see these series. You can never count out Miami, that whole Heat culture. They showed that they could be the 5th seed, the 6th. They could be a lower seed in the East and still make the NBA Finals. They did it twice already. I would have said 7, Celtics in 7 if everyone's healthy. Because that's not the case, and the Celtics look like just the best team, period, in the NBA. I'm going to say Celtics 5, and I'm only saying 5 and not a sweep because I have respect for how hard the Miami Heat play and their defense and that whole culture. I'll give them 1. Lastly, the OKC Thunder versus New Orleans Pelicans. Zion Williamson is out with a hamstring injury, assuming that he misses the whole playoff series. I like OKC easily winning. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just playing on a whole nother level statistically, and even watching him play. Basically, there's levels to this, and as much as I like CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, clearly I just don't think they're going to be enough to match what Shai Gilgeous will do. I will say, though, that I got OKC in 5. I wanted to say 4. However, because OKC is still a relatively young team, getting in the playoffs with this core really for the first time, they may lose a game off of just inexperience. I can see that happening. That's why I go with 5. That is the end of my first round playoff predictions. Let me know what y'all think, what you agree with, what you disagree with, which teams that you believe is going to win. Holla below. This was just a quick analysis video. Wanted to state a few points about each series. Keep it moving. Peace. Appreciate y'all.